something inside of me told me this was leading somewhere. And that if I kept going, then that somewhere would emerge. And when you go through the level of ridicule that I did in the early mid-90s, one of two things happens. Either it destroys you and you withdraw from the world, or you let go of the prison that most people live in, which is the fear of what other people think. Most people are not living their lives. They're not living who they are. They're living what they think others think they should be. And therefore, they're living a lie. They're living someone else's version of them. What happened to me as a result of that massive ridicule is that I let go of the fear of what other people thought. And when you do that, it's indescribable what that does, because no more mental gymnastics before you open your mouth. What I did was let go of that fear of what other people thought of me. And the freedom is indescribable. Because like I say, you don't have the mental gymnastics. How do I put this so they won't think I'm crazy? What do I leave out so they won't think I'm crazy? You reach this point where this is me, and I don't give a damn if you think I'm crazy. So,
how did you do that?
Well, it's something that comes from letting go of the fear of what other people think. You know, I mean, if you ask people to write down, say, their top 5 fears, all over the world, invariably, the vast majority would include speaking in public, right? What is the fear of speaking in public? It's the fear of what other people think. Yeah, it's the fear of what other people think. So when you stand on a stage, if you fear what other people think, you can be nervous because the power dynamic is with the audience, because they are going to decide if you feel secure or not. So you're scanning the audience as you're speaking, and you're looking for reaction. What do they think of it? That power is there. Once you let go of the fear of what other people think, you can speak to 100 people or 1,000,000 people. It doesn't matter, because the dynamic has changed. The dynamic now says, this is my truth, and I respect your right to make of it what you will and come to your own conclusion. But this is my truth, and your reaction is not going to affect my truth. So however you react to what I'm saying, whether you like it, whether you laugh at it, or whether you condemn it, it doesn't matter to me, because it's my truth and I have a right to speak it. My truth and my security is not dependent on other people's reaction to me. That's I completely respect their right to respond as they choose. But I have a right too not to be affected by it. And so in that way, you can get ridiculed in the street. And this is why people don't see so often that they are mirrors of that they rail against. You know, if you take this progressive mentality, like I say, I'm not talking about liberal mentality, I'm a liberal. If you look at the definition of, the dictionary definition of liberal, it is someone who believes in maximum freedom of speech, maximum freedom of lifestyle, maximum freedom of everything. But a progressive mentality, which they actually call liberal, it's stunning, believes in the opposite of that. So you have people who rail against the system, who think they are anti-establishment, who are actually doing exactly what the establishment wants, which is to silence the population. When you've got the progressive anti-establishment mentality saying to government, he must be silenced, she must be silenced, and the government and the corporate world and the establishment are going, yes, we would be delighted to do that. And so it's it's this mirror, this inversion where people perceive themselves in a certain way, but actually act in a way that's the very same as that they rail against. So they'll talk about fascists. We're anti-fascists. All right, you're anti-fascist, right? So what do you want to do? We want to silence these people. That's what fascists do. You know, they can't see it. That's the problem. If you have people around you who so disrespect your right to be you that they give you a hard time for being you, then what are you doing with them? You know, there's loads of other people out there that will respect you. Go and find them. Don't surround yourself with people that don't respect your right to be you. I don't care if they're family. I don't care who they are. If they don't respect your right to be you, then what you're doing, interacting with them all the time, it's just going to make you depressed. It's going to make you frustrated. Walk away. And if they then come round, great. But if they don't, well, equally great. You know, it's like kids. I see this thing with parents. You know, I've spoken to people in their 60s who are still feeling guilty for not doing with their lives what their parents wanted them to do. Oh, you know, I wanted to go walking in India, but my mother wanted me to be a lawyer. I don't like the law, but, you know, I had to do it. Oh, no, you didn't have to do it. You know, if your mother wants to be a lawyer, she could go and be a bloody lawyer. If you want to walk in India, go and walk in India. And if your mother, I don't care, all these stuff, oh, but I don't care. You will only express your true, unique self if you refuse to let anyone impact and suppress that expression of your true, unique self. And the number of people, the number of parents who, and I think this is child abuse, frankly, who want to live their lives through their children, who want to get kudos through their children. You know, I was in America once, and I saw this sticker at the back of a car. My daughter won this so-and-so degree in college. And I'm thinking, yeah, your bloody daughter did it, mate. You didn't bloody do it. What are you doing? Trying to get, you know, live through your children. Congratulate your children, yeah, but looking for the kudos? Oh, yeah, my son's going to Oxford. My daughter's going to Cambridge. Oh, really? You are a successful family. Her son wants to go walking in India. You know. Her daughter wants to be a nurse. But they go to university because mother says so, father says so. The number of people, I mean, it's not even rare. The number of parents, particularly the ones with more money, therefore more influence and access to these educational institutions, the number of them that impose their will on their children because it suits them and not their children is absolutely disgusting. And what it's doing, it's turning out very frustrated, very distorted people who are living a life they don't want to live. And I'll say this to people: are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Do you get up in the morning and say, new day? If not, why not? Make a list. Why am I not happy? Why don't I have joy in my life? Why don't I wake up in the morning and say, yeah, new day? What are the things that make me not feel like that? What are the things that would make me feel like that? Okay, stop doing them and do them. And refuse to compromise on stop doing them and doing them. Take control of your life.